welcome back to Simply Sadie. If this is your first time joining me, thank you and welcome. If you've been here before, thank you guys as well. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, join the family, and then also if you want to be notified every single time I post, make sure you turn on those notifications as well. And then if you enjoy my videos, go ahead and give them a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. Okay, so before we get started with this video, let me give you guys a little background on why I'm choosing to do this video. So when I was pregnant with Mackenzie, I didn't have a YouTube channel. I didn't really document a lot of my pregnancy. I just kind of took the pictures, like the progress pictures. I don't even know if you call them progress pictures, but I took like the pictures as the months went on. So that was all I had. So I was like, ooh, what direction do I want my YouTube channel to go in, first off? Second off, like what type of videos do I want to post? And I know I wanted to post like a labor and delivery story when I have this baby, which I'm currently 38 weeks and 2 days. So I was like, you know what? Let me go back and post Mackenzie's labor and delivery story. Well, what I remember from it. And then that'll give me a chance to like compare my first labor and delivery versus my second labor and delivery and how they went. So that's what I'm gonna do today. So bear with me guys, I'm gonna make it really quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys what I remember from my labor and delivery, what my experience was, and you know, just how it went for me. Let me take you guys back to where it all started. So for me, it started around midnight on May 17, 2018, which was a year and a half ago. I felt this pain in my stomach, and it was almost like period cramps, but a little bit worse. But it wasn't that bad. It was bearable, it was doable, I felt like I could get through it. And then I also, hold on, let me give you guys a little something else too. Before I tell this story, just know that it's a little TMI too, you know, and it's not always a pretty picture, so just bear with me. And if it gets too graphic, which probably it won't, because mostly moms watch my videos and stuff and they know how it goes. But so I had diarrhea like crazy along with the contraction. So I was kind of thinking like, oh my gosh, what is this, what's going on? Did I eat something bad? That was my first thought. But then as it went on, I'm like, okay, this is something else. Something is actually happening. So I went to wake up Andre. I kind of just went, laid down, got back up, and just kept on doing that over and over. Laying down, getting back up, going to the restroom. And I finally woke up Andre. I'm like, okay, something is happening. My stomach hurts so bad. And I think he kind of slept a little bit. I slept a little bit. And we kind of waited it out. And from what I remember, is I just kind of kept going back and forth to the bathroom from midnight all the way until everybody woke up about like 8 a.m. So from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. was when we popped out our phones and started doing the contraction counter, which is like, well, my midwife told me to call or head to the hospital when my contractions lasted for 1 minute, for 1 hour, and 5 minutes apart. So it was like a 511. So I think I said that all backwards, but it was 511. So we did the contraction counter. I got to that point. I called her. I'm like, okay, I'm there. Like it's hitting me hard, you know, at this point. So she said, go ahead and go to the hospital. I'll meet you there. So I got to the hospital about 10:30, and they checked me. I was only 3 centimeters dilated and 70% effaced, I guess, like the thinning of the whatever it is, I don't even know. I was 3 centimeters, 70%. So they were like, oh, we're not gonna admit you yet, walk around the hospital until 1 o'clock and then come back. I was like, oh my gosh, what in the world am I gonna do for 3 hours? It was like 2.5 hours. So we walked around, we walked outside, we did laps around the hospital, we went to the cafeteria. I ate a little bit of fruit, and I think I had some cottage cheese, if I'm not mistaken. So 1 o'clock finally rolled around. We went back upstairs. I still had my luggage, my hospital bag, everything was in the car. I only had like my ID, and they had put me in a hospital gown. Well, I put myself in a hospital gown, but I was in a hospital gown. I only had my wallet, and that was it. Everything else was in the car. So 1 o'clock rolls around. I go back up to the labor and delivery. They check me again. They say, you're still only 3 centimeters dilated, still 70% of phase. You haven't progressed over the last 2 hours. We're not going to admit you. I was like, excuse me. This wasn't my midwife. This was a nurse at the hospital. So I was like, excuse me, can I get a second opinion? Because I'm in so much pain, and they had hooked me up. I could see the contractions on the monitor. They saw the contractions. I'm like, I need a second opinion at this point. So they were like, okay. They were happy. They were like, okay, whatever. So my midwife came in. She checked me, and she was like, oh no, girl, you are like 4 or 5 centimeters dilated. I don't know what they checked, but let's get you admitted and everything. So they admitted me at 1 o'clock, and then I think Andre went and got my stuff from the car. Both moms came in, sister-in-law came in the room, and then me, I'm like, I don't want to sit down. It hurt even more when I sat down, so I was like, no, I'm not sitting down. And they didn't have like the hospitals have now, Bluetooth monitoring, right? So they were like, okay, we can do intermittent monitoring. So they were gonna come back every hour on the hour to put me on to see like where the baby's heart rate was, where my contractions were, and all that good stuff. So this was probably about 1:30. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just keep pacing the room. I took out the medicine ball, I sat on the medicine ball, and then finally, I don't even know what time it was. I'm gonna say like about 2:30. I'm gonna say about 2:30 p.m. I got so tired, like something just came over me. I'm like, okay, I gotta sit down. So I finally sat down on the bed, laid down. I probably laid down for like 5 minutes. But when I'm laying down, I'm telling my husband's mom and sister to hook up my aromatherapy thing so I can smell the lavender. I'm asking them to hook the music up because I want to hear the music. And as soon as I was like, ooh, I smell the lavender, my water broke and I heard a pop. Nobody else heard it, but I stand by, I heard a pop. And then I think when I went back and Googled, other women said they heard a pop too, but nobody in the room heard it. But okay, so I was like, oh, I smell the lavender. And as soon as I smelled the lavender and I said it out loud, my water broke. At that point, when my water broke, I hadn't asked for epidural. I hadn't asked for anything. I was fine. I was just walking, swaying my hips. I was perfectly fine. Like, I was getting through it, and I was surprised myself, you know, at how much pain I was tolerating. Even though it wasn't that bad, it was still like, oh my gosh, you know, it was like you want to stop, breathe, sway your hips, you know, do all that just to kind of ease the pain a little bit. And excuse me if I'm breathing super hard because I am 38 weeks and 2 days and I cannot breathe to save my life, but I'm trying, so bear with me. As soon as my water broke, I was like, get the midwife, get the doctor, get whoever, get them. It just went from like a 6 to a 10, and I was like, get this baby out of me now. But at no point did I ever ask for epidural because my midwife had asked me, did I want to use epidural? She gave me a birth plan and all this paperwork and stuff, and I had question marks by like everything because I was like, I don't know if that's what I want, you know. But even in the middle of it all, it was like I didn't even think to ask for epidural. I was just like going with what was happening, you know. But at the same time, I'm like, get this baby out of me now, like now. So I'm gonna say from about 2:30, it was just contractions. They were hitting me hard. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I felt like the world was just crashing down on me. That's how I felt. I just needed, I don't know what I needed, but I was just like, it was just painful. Let's just say that. So my midwife came and she put her fist like in my back and she pushed so hard, like I could feel her knuckles like going into my back. but it relieved the pressure, and I was like laying on my side, so it was like easy access to my back, and she pushed so hard. It felt so good. I'm like, don't go anywhere, keep doing that, don't leave at all. But she had Andre do it, and you know, your husband, your man, they don't want to hurt you, so they going like gentle, but I'm like, no, push harder, push that. Push harder, you know, because it really relieved the pain. So I'm gonna say my times are guesstimated, but except I know we got there like at 10, and I know they told us to walk until 1, and then they admitted us about 1:30. So from 1:30 to the time Mackenzie was born, my time is a little off, but I know what time Mackenzie was born, and I know what time we were admitted, you know, but I'm not exactly sure on the time that my water broke, but I'm just guesstimating that it was like 2:30. So at about 2:30 is when they quickly hooked me up, because I didn't have any monitors on. I didn't have anything on me, so we didn't know like what the baby status was, what my status was. I didn't have like the iron IV or whatever that IV is that they give you. I had nothing on me. So as soon as I like screamed for the nurse or doctor, midwife, whoever to help me and save my life right now, they came, they strapped everything onto me, and they checked me. And at that point, when my water broke, I was 7 centimeters dilated. I do not remember my effacement, but I was 7 centimeters dilated. Shortly after that, all I remember is just being in pain, grabbing onto everybody, just holding on for dear life, basically. And shortly after that, so I'm gonna say from 2:30 to about 3 o'clock, so only like 30 or 40 minutes or so, I was just in pain. And then next thing I know, I just feel my body just clenched down, like it was making me push. Like I thought you had to like push, but I honestly felt like a passenger in my own body. Like my body knew exactly what to do, and it was pushing the baby out itself. And they were just telling me, when you feel it, just lift up and push with it, you know. This was about, I'm gonna say 3:10 or so. No, that's probably wrong, because I didn't push for that long at all. But anyhow, so I just felt my body just, you know, start to push. So I was just assisting. I was the passenger. It still hurt like bleep, but I had to do what I had to do. I didn't know how long it was gonna last. I didn't know anything. I was just like, let's get it over with, let's get it done with, let's get this baby out. So I just pushed. I just did what my body was doing naturally. I assisted. And then I had my midwife there. She was assisting me. I was still grabbing onto people. My mom even told me that I put my nails into her, and she had like little scars from my nails, which I didn't know I did that. So sorry, Mom. I pushed and I pushed and I pushed, and Mackenzie was born at 3:35. And I was so happy. And then I asked my midwife, how long was that? 2 hours? She said, Mercedes, you only pushed for 15 minutes. And I was like, really? That felt like 2 hours. It felt like an eternity. Like it felt like, it just felt long as I don't know what. So I did have my labor and delivery recorded, but I probably won't post it online because it's a little much, you know, stuff that you want to keep to yourself and not post online. So that's one of those things that I probably won't post online. But I did want to post my labor and delivery story, you know, just to put it out there, and then also compare, like I said, my current, well not current because I haven't had her yet, but my next labor and delivery, which I am extremely nervous about. But I kind of want to go the same route. I want a walking labor. I don't want epidural, I don't think. Don't quote me because I will probably scream epidural as soon as the first contraction hits. But I'm hoping that it goes very smoothly. So thank you guys for bearing with me through my labor and delivery story. I hope your labor and delivery goes as smooth as you hope. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, and then also turn on your notifications so you're notified every single time I post. And then also give my videos a thumbs up. I can't wait to post more videos for you guys. I do have a nursery tour coming up, as well as some other videos. I want to do what's in my hospital bag and all the other videos that come along with baby before I actually have her. So stay tuned for those videos. Bye.